and welcome back to Factorio PyBlock. Last time, I can't show you on the map because it's outside of radar range, we set up some actual copper mining to actually mine and smelt copper. We now have more copper than we know what to do with. That's probably a completely stupid thing to say. I know exactly what to do with all this copper. It's just I have quite a few of those things. It does mean that our whole economy based around ash is now turned on its head. So we just don't need the ash, because at least at the moment, because we are dealing with copper instead, which means we should rework the whole of this framework around here towards other goals. And I think the thing I'd like to work towards is steel production. So we're going to start off by basically taking all this away. Now this will cut off our electricity, but I don't think there's anything we are doing with electricity that matters at the moment. Right, let's change this back to ash into these block things, just to get rid of the ash. Alright, and then we're going to start thinking about, in a perfect world, what would this all look like? And I think what I'd like it to look like is something that mainly makes iron ore, and then turns everything else into iron plate and steel. So let's take this belt back. We are not going to need all of this, so let's basically take all of this away. And we're going to start actively working out what's needed rather than the current game of guessing. Okay. And we may end up ripping all of this up as well. Quite exciting. Alright, so let's imagine that, for the sake of argument, we were turning all of this into iron ore. So, rate calculator. I can always make more mushrooms, obviously. So this is 6.7 mushrooms a second. This consumes 1.2, so we can run a lot more of these machines from this, although we need fuel for them. Okay, and this only uses 2.5. And is this enough fuel? Yes, so this is more than enough fuel. So we are net positive to run more than this. Okay, so I think I'd like to put down some more of these machines. The other thing is I'd like their outputs to come on a belt. I guess the problem is I don't have splitters, so I need these things to have two inputs. I need them to have the mushrooms and the spores. It takes 4 inserters to empty one of these belts of mushrooms. Maybe let's just take all of this away. We're going quite radical now. Let's take a blueprint of one of those, and we're going to make a dump box. Okay, gives us a bit of room to work with. Alright, so we're going to change how we do this. So we are going to take let's assume it's 5 inserters. Okay, so that does the job, right? Yeah, so we now have a belt of actual mushrooms rather than of mushrooms plus spores. So this is a pattern we can now grow upwards until we've filled a belt. So we could fill an entire belt with mushrooms here. Okay, so then this contraption Let's take that away. Okay. Spores I can just dump into machines. There we go. Right, so this contraption, we can now feed off this belt. Do I want to have a separate belt of fuel? I think I do. Then it's an open question whether I package up the fuel together with... I think the fuel is used for other stuff. So I want the fuel to be... Okay. Make a bit of space down here. I'm not sure how much space we're going to need for this. The answer will of course be more, and then our water pumps will be in the wrong place. Okay. So this is our mushrooms line at the moment. Do I want it to be there? I kind of want this to be outside the footprint of the mushroom makers. Maybe I want to tuck it underneath the mushroom makers. Yeah, maybe I do. I think that might be the way forward. All right. Nothing like indecision to make your mind up. So let's have a look here. So we could make the whole of this area into our iron production, which means this, basically. All right, so then we need to think about what resources are we making from the mushrooms. Okay, so the obvious one is we are making kerogen. And should I put that on the same belt as the mushrooms? I think I should. Okay, and this actually takes at least 3 arms to pull off enough material to keep it running. It's closer to 5, I think. Okay, so let's take that. So let's imagine we were actually designing this rather than just building the thing. I want this to be something we can grow. Okay, let's grab that. Okay, so that works, doesn't it? Then this needs to have at least 2 outputs which are gated to raw coal. Okay, and this needs to continue that side. But I also need the ash to go somewhere. So I think for now, can the ash just go into boxes? Okay, so this is a blacklist. It should be a whitelist. Okay, and then this should be an ash whitelist. Is ash under here? Yeah. And have I managed to whitelist it? No, I haven't. Okay, so this I think is our template. And then that is then a this is then the kerogen, sorry, the raw coal belt. Now, the raw coal I want to bring back this way. All right. So if this has mushrooms, let's take all of this. Then this is our design for turning mushrooms into okay. And then I have this thing. Do I connect these 2 builds? I'm going to go slightly mad. Okay, do I connect these two builds via inserters, or do I do it with belt? Because ultimately I want the mushrooms to be on a mixed belt with the fuel. I think I'm going to do it with a gap. Okay, and then we can always do something like that. And then I can grow this build, and I guess we're out of luck with arms, right? This is as many arms as we can do. Once I put this fuel in, we're stuck with this build. I really need at least 8 arms here, probably nearer to 10, and this is not that many, is it? But then this is more fuel than we need. I'm making more fuel than is actually needed for the... Okay. How else could we do this? Because I want to bring this out ultimately like that. Am I overthinking this? I hate these kind of design things, particularly when you do them in a world rather than in a creative mode. Alright, I think this is going to have to be the actual belt, because I just don't see how I can guarantee the throughput otherwise. Okay, so... there we go. Alright, so all these mushrooms, I can dump some there. We will get rid of all the mushrooms later, it's not a problem. So this obviously can be grown as far as we want. Okay. Then we need what is left of the mushrooms to be merged in with this fuel belt. I don't have long-handed inserters yet, so the best I can do is undergrounds. And the raw coal, I'm going to need some of it for other stuff. I think I'm overthinking this, aren't I? Okay. So I can make a crossover with arms thing here as big as I want. I can just keep growing this to make this bigger. Okay. And that is a perfectly good way to get coal and mushrooms on the same belt. Alright, once we have coal and mushrooms on the same belt, I think I'm going to underground this. Can I underground it here? I can. Good. Okay, so I think this is a much better way to get coal and mushrooms on the same belt. Yeah, we can figure something out there, but that does get them on without the belt ending, so that keeps us with some raw coal in hand. Okay, then if I grab some more landfill, we can now put down our things that made the iron, the atomizers. Okay. Good, and we decided we could run quite a few of these. So how many atomizers can I craft? That's not an atomizer. There we are. Let's make another... I don't know if 4 is the right number, but I like the idea of having them in... That seems about right, doesn't it? That will do for now. Okay, we can always improve our mushroom plantations if this is a problem. Good, so I think we're now at a position where I can start things up. Good. So then these produce iron ore. And goodness me, we've been playing all this time and I hadn't stuck basic building materials on the hotbar. Okay. Right, then the issue with this is we need to put solid fuel on this belt for it to be smelted. Okay, so let's take this back. Okay, and then we can put in some arms here to add some fuel to the belt. These have no recipe, which is why they're doing nothing. Good, okay. That's all coming along quite nicely, isn't it? Okay, so we have the usual ash problem here. So we're getting... Are we getting some ash outputs? So we're fine for the coal, that's not producing ash. But we're producing ash in these smelters. Okay. Can we somehow deal with that? One option is just at the end here to have these be ash arms. Yep. And box it for now. The other issue we have is sides of belts. So there we go. Good. This is going to take a while to fill up these boxes. This is going to also take a while to fill up these. They just don't make ash very quickly. Okay, and then this is going to come down to smelters. This is, I realise this is not the best way to be doing this. We'll work it out. Right, so I need more landfill. I'm actually running low on landfill. Okay, and then I think we have two processes here. We have a process making iron plate. I don't know how many iron plate machines we can run. Let's do this just to set their recipes. And I want to see, assuming this was running full time, we'd be making 2 iron ore per second. And this would be consuming 3.2. So we wouldn't be able to run those. Okay. So let's start with 2. This is clearly going to be quite a small build. And this is iron, which at the moment we are going to box. Along with the ash. We'll do some ash management later. Okay. Ah, ash is getting through. Okay. So we need more boxes, not because we need more storage, but because we need more throughput. Okay. Then, as well as this process, which I don't think is ever going to get much bigger. All right, we could scale this up to half a belt of mushrooms. Let's quickly look at the total mushroom production. So if this is transport belt, we are nearly at half a belt, actually. Okay, so let's imagine we just took one of these stacks. So 7 of these stacks would be a full belt. Okay, so we're just under half a belt. So maybe I should expand this out to 7 full stacks. I'll do that off camera though. So then I should probably ratio everything out to 1 belt. Which I will do in a calculator, but it's clearly not going to be very many iron smelters. If it's going to be at most 6, probably less than 6. Okay, then that gives us some room left over where we can do some steel smelting. And let's, just for neatness, I'm going to finish this off. And then we're going to start looking at steel smelting. Okay, so this is really what I wanted to do today. How are we doing? We have plenty of copper. We're low on iron, but that's fine because we are making some. It looks like we're not in practice actually getting through this as fast as it's being made. So let's set up these smelters, even though I don't think we can use them. It doesn't hurt, does it? Okay, so let's have a look at steel. So on here we've uncovered steel plates, steel display plates. In the production we can now manufacture sinkholes. In combat nothing's changed. In pie-coal processing we have a new machine called the Advanced Foundry. And I think the Advanced Foundry is what steel is made in. So let's just double check that. So steel plate is made in an Advanced Foundry. Yeah, so if we go back here, where was the Advanced Foundry? Here. So we're going to need one of those. What else? Pi alternate energy. We have the multi-blade fish turbine. Needs 5 fish and 10 steel. And it produces, on average, half a megawatt of power. I like the idea of that. So it means we can get away from steam energy when we don't need the steam for things. Right, what's going on here? Why is this? I don't know. That, for whatever reason, had just not got. Okay, so these are not pulling off all the ash. Okay, so we will. Are they not pulling off all the ash, or is it just a? Yeah, to be honest, I'm not quite sure. We may have to have various extra ash collecting things, or I may need separate ash outputs for these. I don't really want to do it currently. Okay, but this is producing iron at least, so we're happy. Looks like these need a full set of input arms to keep up. Okay, that seems to keep up better. Alright, sorry, where were we? Right, we have this Advanced Foundry. Okay, so I can make bricks with it, or I can make all the things with it. Steel. Okay, so steel I can make from iron ore. I need limestone and I need coke. It looks like this is all balanced out now. Okay, so we're back to a more sensible flow of iron ore. And again, I can distribute the iron ore between these two processes, the steel and the iron, by using arms to split the ore. Yeah, this is now much closer to what we thought it should be, which is 2 furnaces. Alright, let's pick all that up. So now that it's balanced itself out. I think there were just some backlogs built up. Okay, and this isn't working. Because there's no fuel input for these to keep them going. Okay. These are the kind of snags which screw with designs, aren't they? Okay. So, to keep with our 1 process per line thing, let's have a quick look. We're right on the edge of what we're capturing with the screen capture. So, let's delete that. Add tag. Okay, so I'm going to move that out. Do I want to put it out there to capture those islands? I don't think I do. Move that down here. Whoops, it's that one I wanted to delete. Capture bottom left, and I want to put that down maybe here. And then if I come out of the map view and open up the time-lapse controller, go to trackers, I can use the map pins to reset the capture region. If you now look in the map view, this is the target capture box and this is the actual capture box. The actual capture box will move over time to match. Okay. So I really want this to be down here somewhere, which requires a lot more landfill than we currently have. I know this is not the most space efficient design, I'm just looking for something that I can understand rather than something that's good. Actually, let's put, can I put that here for now? Okay, so this needs iron. It needs limestone. So where do we get limestone from? I've got a feeling it's this machine here. Okay, in the meantime, I'm going to craft a lot more landfill because it's what I seem to have got through a lot of this episode. Yeah, I think it's this thing. So if I change the yeah, there's a limestone recipe. So let's grab that along with its water. I can always make a new one of these. Okay, so I want to give this limestone. Alright. Then some pipes would be nice. Again, pipes are not currently on my bar, so we'll have to sort that out. Okay. And we currently have no power. But again, that's not going to work, is it? They're touching. All right, let's move that over one just so that. Good. So I'm putting down 3 arms. I genuinely have no idea if 3 arms is the right number. And I'm just dragging some poles fairly randomly up towards our our network. There we go. Okay, we currently have no power. I want nearly all of this to go away for now. Can I do that? In fact, all right, let's do some more of this. That guarantees we have, this will just back up, so it's not like we're going to burn too much of the stuff. Okay, and then I want the first thing that happens here to be steam boilers. There. We'll have 2 arms going in because I know it needs that. Then we're going to have 2 ash arms coming out because I know the boilers, when they're running at full speed, need that much. Okay. What have I got too much of currently? It is probably the ash. Yeah. And somehow I've picked up enough sand to fill the Sahara. Okay. Mushrooms we can dump. Good. We are really low on iron because I've been wasting it all on stupid things like expanding out our production. Okay, so let's take this. I think it's 2 of these boilers to 1 steam engine. Okay. So there, and we need to dump the moss. It's because I pulled up all those machines, didn't I? And the machines have just a ton of stuff in them. Yeah, okay. That explains it. It's emptying all the boxes which were buffering up stuff from machines. Alright, so I want that to put in that box. I want that to put in that box. Right, don't need the brick at this moment. I need a stack of brick, but I've got some brick. And a pipe there and a pipe there. This power pole is in the wrong place now. Not a problem. Okay, we need to get water in here, which we will do with an offshore pump. So this thing is expandable. So I could just copy this template out to grow this. Obviously not very far because we run out of this, but the design is there for later. Right, I need a steam engine. Because we need the power from the steam engine. That's good. But unlike before, we're not going to void the excess steam because we're going to make ourselves a fish turbine. Right, so what else does this need? This needs the limestone. Let's set the recipe to limestone. And it needs coke. Okay, so coke is made in a... some kind of column, wasn't it? Right, so coke is currently made through the coal gas recipe. Okay, so this is 10 units of coal into 6 units of coke in a destructive distillation column. Brilliant. All right, so that can go there, I guess. So this can be the coal into coke recipe. Okay, and this is going to, this is going to output into a box. Coal into coke has 2 outputs, 2 fluid outputs, sorry. which we are going to put into a bulk storage. Like this. Okay, so we have a pie tank. I think we can put there. And we have a pie tank. So I think we can put there. Yeah. All right. So this requires coal. And we get coal from this, sorry. We get this from raw coal. Good, so if I carry that down, then we can feed raw coal in off this belt. I'm just sort of defaulting to 3 inserters at the moment. Right, and if we rotate this around, that's already lined up with a pipe. And this can be joined up with an underground. And then am I passing these products through? I'm not. And we are also not powering them currently. Okay, I think the power's going to have to go over the top. Okay, that can go. So let's see. This is also producing iron ore. This is also producing iron ore. Okay, so I think, is there a square somewhere? No, because of how I've arranged things. Okay. So we're going to think again about where these tanks go. Because it is important that we do something here. Good. So this is going to occasionally produce iron oxide, which we are going to smelt. Can I dump that in there? Yes, I can. Right, so what's going on here? So, ingredient shortage. It doesn't have enough. That would explain it, wouldn't it? I've never turned those on. Okay. So this will produce some iron oxide, but that's fine. We'll smelt that into iron and just buffer it for now. The liquids are going in this pipe, and then we're not currently doing anything with them. All right, so we decided what we were doing was stupid. Okay, I think this is a better option. Okay, move this one to the side. All right, so now I think we can move the liquids out of the build somewhat, which means that our tanking of them can be done away from the main area. Okay. So this can be a tank for whatever this is. And this can be a tank for whatever this is. With some more land to sit on. Where's that tank? There. No. There. That'll loop. All right. So let's look again. This is running at a limit of being provided with the raw coal. This is running at a limit of being provided with coal. And this is running. We have steel. Oh, I'm really pleased about that. And then this is running at a speed limited by how many mushrooms we can hand it. Okay. And that is limited by our production of mushrooms. So we have a bottleneck which we can actually tackle here. Which I call a result. So let's grab that. 5 steel. And there was a thing we could make with steel that I have forgotten already. Other than a steel axe, a turbine, a fish turbine. So I need 5 fish and 10 steel plate. And how can I speed this up? This is raw coal. We have a whole island of raw coal. Let's grab the fish. Yeah, let's head up to our raw coal island. Awesome. So we can now basically force feed raw coal in here. Good. The eagle-eyed among you will see that we're now down to 6 iron plate. So we have shifted from being an economy based upon not having any copper to an economy based on not having any iron plate. Such is life. Such is life. Good. So I'm going to speed the game up because I want to get my fish turbine today. So that is 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so to make a fish turbine, let's click on that. It's going to be a little bit of a craft. All this stuff can go back, I think. We have all this area here now where we can make stuff, which is quite exciting. I'm looking forward to being able to make things. Okay, the fish turbine is taking a while to craft, and I'm just not going to sit around and wait for it. I should probably be doing other things, sensible things, like scaling up the factory, but I'm not. I'm going to grab my fish turbine. Okay. So we are producing an increasing amount of power from a fish, from 5 fish. It even looks a bit like a fish. I'm really pleased about that. This will also lower our coal usage from this boiler. Yeah, so I think that's the way forward. We've done a thing today, so we've done quite a lot today. We have totally reorganized our main factory site. We have reorganized how we're making raw coal, iron ore, iron plate, and steel, which is quite cool, I think. I'm just going to drop an extra one of these on the end. There, I guess. Because I would... Can I dump that in from here? Yeah, I can. I've got some amount of far reach. Yeah. 5 of those. We're out. That's it, isn't it? That's all we needed. Yeah, we've rearranged all this. We've pulled up all our old built, and we have made a fish turbine, multi-blade turbine, which turns fish we've grabbed out the ocean into power. So I'm going to call it. But after all these episodes where I've been a bit upset and it's felt a bit grindy, I am now feeling very happy. We are on the up. So let us go to our task list. We have automated steel. With that, thank you very much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and tell your friends. And I will see you again very soon. Bye-bye.